enough.
It's not. Frank, do come in.
Hi.
Hiya, Margaret.
Hello, Charles. How are you
Hey.
doing?
It's good to see you. Come in, sit down. Margaret, make yourself useful. Pour Frank a drink.
I'm on it.
That better not be the spin-off, Bryan.
How you doing, Frank? I hear the business is going real well, real well.
Yes, thanks to Charles. Our profit couldn't be better. I have a little present for you, Margaret. I hear you like music, right? I have 2 tickets to the original Dixieland Jazz Band. They've been up here for a couple of months, and I got the tickets to the last concert at the Weber Cafe. You know, the one on Columbus Circle. It turns out I'll be in Atlanta all next week, so I figured you'd enjoy them. Here, take them.
Oh, Frank, this is wonderful. I read about the ODJB in the paper all the time. Charles, I'm going to go get my fancy hat.
Where do you think you're going? I'm not going to no stupid concert.
What do you mean? There's 2 tickets here. What are you supposed to do with the other one?
I'm not going to no stupid concert, and neither are you. I'm not listening to no cotton pickers.
Charles, you really are a piece of work. You know that? They're a very talented band, and they ain't got no afros. And even if they did, what does that matter?
This music is corrupting society.
What music? Jazz?
You want to go out by yourself and dance. You should be home taking care of this house. You don't need music, Margaret. Oh, wait a second, Charles.
If the ODJB is no good, tell me, Charles, why are they so popular? Why does everybody like them? They came all the way up here from New Orleans.
Think about it, Margaret. They weren't doing well down there. They had to come up here to a city full of morons who think they're so special. They're not even on the radio. You only think everyone likes them. They're terrible.
I'm sorry about this, Margaret.
It's okay, Frank. I really hear they are the cat's pajamas.
Yeah, I know Charles is a real hard-boiled guy.
You know what? I'm gonna go anyway.
Well, hello, miss. Are you enjoying yourself today?
Why, yes, I am. This is actually my first concert I've ever been to, I guess.
Yes, the original Dixieland Jazz Band is killing. Their profits are peaking.
But, I'm supposed to be meeting with the drummer soon, so if you don't mind.
Oh, well, then I'll just get out of your hair then.
Well, instead, I have a better idea. Why don't you stay?
Oh,
Come
okay.
in.
Oh, hello, Jimmy Durante. How are
Hello,
you?
Tony. The crowd loves you today. It's a pleasure.
Thank you.
You know, we're actually thinking about taking you, if you can come down to New Orleans with us. Well, I have a better idea. I say we could go to New York. I know a guy there. He can get your band signed.
Get out of town. That'd be great.
Yes, you'd be the first jazz band ever.
You'll make history. That would be wonderful.
With you as my witness, we'll go down to New York and be the first ever jazz band to sign a record deal.
The original Dixieland Jazz Band, otherwise known as the ODJB, was a New Orleans Dixieland jazz band that made the first jazz recordings early in 1917. The band consisted of 5 musicians who had previously played in the Papa Jack Lane bands, a diverse and racially integrated collection of musicians who played for parades, dances, and advertising in New Orleans. The ODJB were frequently billed as the creators of jazz because they were the first band to record jazz commercially and to have hit records in the new genre. When the New Orleans jazz style swept New York by storm in 1917 with the arrival of the original Dixieland Jazz Band, Jimmy Durante was a part of the audience at the Weber's Cafe on Columbus Circle when the ODJB played at the venue. Durante was very impressed with the ODJB and invited them to play at a club called the Alamo in Harlem, where Jimmy played piano. The ODJB was soon the hottest thing in show business. Tony Sabarbero later convinced Jimmy Durante to play piano for the band. The signing of the first jazz record marked the beginning of the acceptance of jazz in society. Jazz first provoked a negative response among the older generation who viewed jazz as evil and harmful to young persons, especially women. Since jazz originated from the black community, the signing of the first jazz record by a band with white members marks a small step forward against discrimination and the blending of African and American cultures. War and conflict forced people to console and indulge in extravagant lifestyles of dancing and partying, which aided the era of swing and big band. Jazz carried over into swing, proving its power of influence on society. The jitterbug, jive, the Lindy hop, hustle, breakdancing, and even tango emerged as a result of swing dance styles. Swing music began to decline during World War II, mainly because many musicians were overseas fighting in the war. The 15 years after the war, however, were boom times for America.
You say you want a revolution, well, you know.
Widespread communication through television and automobiles exposed families to a national culture as well as post-war effects, inspiring people and music to oppose war. Much like jazz, older generations did not like this type of music. Traces of jazz elements are still found in today's music, along with its role in society. Rap music, for instance, appeals to the younger generation because it distracts kids from everyday reality by fantasizing about endless money, women, and fame. Once again, the older generation is highly offended by instilling such aspirations in children and young adults, as well as the derogatory connotation associated with the status of women that represent this music.
If Miss Leaford would allow us. Okay, I don't know. Okay, go back. Are we gonna do it again?
Yeah. Some of the early sounds of jazz were associated with whorehouses.
Quit fondling my camera. Around 1950, many musicians began experimenting and moving away from ragtime. Oh! What is jazz? Can I see the board?
Should I go like this?
You're good.
Okay. Can you see it?
Yeah. Just for like 2 seconds, okay?
I know.
I find it rather shallow and pedantic.
Okay.
It would be your left foot and be my right foot.
So we step with the same foot every time?
Yeah. Yeah, like born out of African American. Actually, not really, not really. You just look sunburned. Okay.
You're gonna want to do that again.
Okay.
Hello. Just like right to here. You better cut that out.
How do you feel when you listen to jazz? Today's rap music is more to the liking of teenagers.
I'm gonna get my fancy hat.
Move.
You want your brandy, sir? Hand me brandy, yeah. Yeah, brandy. Wonderful. I read about the ODJB in the paper.
Which part was it? Oh, my shoes. That's what I was.
That's what she said.
But
Are you for real?